Present in the chambers. I'm going to call the Room Tax Commission to order. First item on our agenda is minutes of the previous meeting. That's from April 18, 2024. The minutes are in your packet. Are there any questions? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
All right, a motion from Lewitsky.
Second.
Second from Hinkie. Any discussion? Not hearing anything. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. Okay, item number 2, discussion and possible action regarding tourism grant request applications. Maybe the first thing we should do, Mary Ann, if you want to kind of walk us through what we have available for funds, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So I included a cover sheet kind of showing what is available for the CVB's allocation of room tax. The first quarter of '24 wasn't a great quarter as far as room tax is concerned, and we haven't gotten all of the information for second quarter. Obviously, first quarter, we had some lack of winter. So using more of a conservative number with the grants that are currently extended to organizations, it looks like about $132,000 would be available. There were 4 applicants. I had reduced the Wausau Hmong New Year down to 10,000, which tied to their application. Today, you would have received information that outlined the full $20,000 of requests, because they had requested 20,000, but wasn't itemized on their application, and so I had reduced that. So that 38,000 total request would now be 48,995. So you have Iron Bull for 14,495, Hope in the Park for 8,500, a Wausau area Hmong New Year for 20,000, and Beer and Bacon for 6,000.
Okay. All right, and we've got, so I guess maybe the best thing to do is just kind of go through these applications individually. I mean, we got a couple repeats from previous cycles, and we got a couple of new events here. So
Right.
We'll start with the Iron Ball, and that is, we did fund them partially at the last meeting.
Yep.
And now, because of the cycle of their events, we decided to split that in half, and we can, look at the second half of the allocation for the rest of the events that they're planning for the year. So, anybody want to start off any discussion on the Iron Bowl application?
And Andrea's here.
Okay,
If
and, okay. Let me pull that up here on my,
anybody has questions.
yeah.
Do we have, what page number is the, like, a number of attendees for each event? Or Andrea, do you know off the top of your head?
Last year, we had in total about 2,000 participants, which was about 50% growth over the prior year, because we are a new organization. Our first event was in the fall of 2019. 2022 to 2023, we had 50% growth. Then last year, we had 28% growth. This year, we're on pace for increased growth as well.
Okay, I think it's, I see on page 6 here that, projected number of attendees is 2,300 racers and 325 estimated hotel stays. That's for the entire series, correct?
Yep, and so that includes, the surrounding areas too,
Yeah.
because we don't know necessarily if they're going to, which municipality they're going to select.
All right, any other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. If, Hinkie?
Yeah, is this the fourth year we've supported them?
The first year you funded was, I was approved on March 22nd of 2021, and I received reimbursement, reimbursement on December 1st, 2021. I always get the reimbursement, so if there's been anything in question, you have the opportunity to examine that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion, or,
I'll make a motion to approve.
okay.
I'll second.
Thanks. Motion for Lewinsky, second from Hanky. Any discussion? Not hearing anything. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. And that was for 14,495. So thanks, Andrea, for coming
Thank you for
today.
your ongoing support.
You bet. Next up on our list is the Hope in the Park, and that is a new event this year. I don't think we funded them in the past. They've been running this event, I guess, for a while on the 400 block, and now they're moving to a larger venue at Marathon Park. So just kind of,
I had one question on this.
Yep.
So obviously you are a radio station.
Right.
How can we grant $1,000 to you and it's probably your in-kinding your own self?
That radio, that is not just our station. We're also buying airtime in other places, so.
Sure, but you're owned by a parent company, correct?
Yes.
The same parent company?
Not the one we'd be advertising on, no.
Okay.
We're a standalone
Okay.
station.
okay. Yeah, I guess that was the question I had, is any amount of this, would the grant cost would be covering in-kind?
No,
Okay.
no. Actual money needs.
Okay, thank you. That's, all right. Any other questions? Hickey?
Yeah, I guess my concern looking at it was it's free to the public, and we usually use this to get events going, and I just worry if the event will keep going without us down the road, you know. That was
Right.
my big concern.
Well, this will be our first year to ask for help. And we pretty much have broken even each event. The last couple of years, we invested close to $5,000 on our own, which we're willing to do because we think it's just a big event for us as well as the community. So if we're asking people to support it with sponsorships, we feel like the goal isn't to break even. It's an investment in the community and what we do here in Wausau. There's events like this in other parts of the state. They're longer festivals. We have no intention of making it more than a day. So we just feel like, for us, this is an excellent event. For the community, it's a great event. And we'd like to keep it here. We don't have any concern about it moving forward unless we saw a major drop in business support, financial support, and underwriting. So we feel pretty good about it, and we're just grateful that we found out that there's an opportunity that we might be able to get some funding from the City of Wausau Tourism for this event to help pay for it.
Okay, yeah, and I know that, yeah, the big concern with the Room Tax Commission is to get people to come to the area and to spend room nights. I know the number of room nights is a little bit light here, but maybe because there hasn't been much advertising outside of the, typically the 90-mile radius. So I can see how trying, using additional funds from the room tax in order to for additional, marketing, advertising outside the area to bring more people in, and hopefully that would spur more room nights.
Yeah, we worked really hard this year to make sure that we invested in those other events outside of Wausau. So we hired a new events person to make sure that we are at these festivals that are on the east and west side of the state. And these are all concert goers. It's what they do. And for a free event, this year especially, we got great feedback on the artist we're bringing in. He's a top 5 Christian artist, which he did not appear at either of the 2 festivals this year, which gives us high hopes for as long as you have good, decent weather, it should be a really good attendance. And again, as far as hotel stays, we're doing a better job this year of trying to communicate with the hotels to get an idea. Other than what we hear, we really, during the event, we're so busy, nobody's asking that question. We do know people stay from other places. We just don't ever ask really where they're staying. And this year, like I said, last year we invested in a tent that was just Hope in the Park. So it wasn't even about the radio station, it was Hope in the Park at both of these festivals. And then we had a 3-day listener appreciation event, 3 days, where we did a concert with a bee artist, but more local, Rapids, Marshfield, and then here last week, Thursday. And that tent has been at every event. It'll be at the events coming up before the 25th. And our goal is to get them to sign up for preferred seats and really push that event to outside Wausau.
All right. So, and I know, one of the things the commission does like to do is to help new events get off the ground, because, we see the potential in them. So, and I certainly see the potential in this particular event too. It's different than some of the other stuff that we have in the communities. So that's definitely a point in favor of this. So, any other discussion? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the 8,500.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion from Henke, second from Lewitsky. Anything else, discussion-wise? Not hearing anything. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that
All right.
you'll come to the event. It's free.
All
Come
right.
on.
Well, thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
glad we can try something new here in the community. So
thank you
thanks
so
for bringing
much.
this to the commission.
And thank you, Mary Ann. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, moving forward, next up is the Wausau area Hmong New Year. And I think this is another thing that's been going on for a couple of years, but we really hasn't had the exposure, I guess. So I'm just kind of moving ahead here. We got Long Lore?
Yes, that's correct.
All
Yes.
right. Good afternoon, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
And
Yep. Good afternoon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity here. The Wausau X New Year, it's actually been going on for about 40 years, but it's been, kind of, we have never asked for any grants and things like that at all. We have been pretty much using funds that we collect from the gate, and we don't do a lot of advertising, so that's the reason why I'm here, is because we're growing, and we are looking for advertising. We don't have a budget for advertising at all. Our budget is for like $1,000 every single year, and that's all that we can use for. So I believe that with more fundings, we can definitely increase our attendees. Right now, we're averaging between 5,000 to 7,000, depending on the year. Some year with good weathers, we'll get about 7,000. Other years, when there's snow, obviously less people come through just because of the weather. Most of our attendees are coming from Minnesota. That's where the majority of our attendees are coming from, but they're coming from all over the states as well. But I would say right now, as far as the number goes, with the competition that we have as far as dance competition, we have about 25 teams. And out of those 25 teams, we have 20 teams that are coming from Minnesota, and the average per team is about 15 members. So if you take 15 members, that's about a parent who will come in with a kid. So the number of attendees from Minnesota is actually a very high number, and that's what our main focus is. Where can we get the most people to come in to attend our event for our competition? And that's from Minnesota. That's our main focus with our marketing, with the money that we're going to use.
Okay, and I know that, if you're traveling in from Minnesota, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to be spending the night here, so.
Absolutely. We have, Barb is the marketing director with the hotel that we're at right next to the Expo Center. And right now, I believe we have all the rooms at the location they're booked. So not a single room is available now. And that's just at one location only. There are a number of teams that already have contacted me that they have registered but don't have rooms to stay and are looking for other locations that I would recommend for them to stay.
Okay. With that in mind, are you looking at any of the Wausau area hotels then, or?
We're looking for something that's closer there, just because we want them to be able to walk or a closer distance. So I have also booked at 2 different hotels close by there as well. I've not checked with them yet as far as what their room capacity is, but I've worked closely with Barb. And I've received the number from Barb that all the rooms are reserved for now.
Okay. Any questions?
Based off that, I think Rothschild and Weston are better suited for at least this giant amount of money, because they will incur a lot of the hotel stays. We will get the overflow, obviously.
Yeah.
If Rothschild and Weston are full, then they'll come to Wausau. But I think because of that, and because you said you've only had $1,000 marketing in the past, I don't think it would be very responsible of us to just throw $20,000 at you for the first year that you're actually going to market. So I think it's more like, I don't know, 5, maybe. I mean, does anyone disagree with me. I think that's still a lot when he's only had $1,000 in the
Well,
past.
1,000.
Have you gone to Weston and Rothschild?
We have, yeah.
And what have they done?
We did go to Rothschild, correct. So they have granted us a little bit of funding as well. But our $1,000, basically what we use for is just printing materials, and that's it. We have never done social media marketing at all, and that's why our main focus is to use the money that we, if we're approved for, is to do social media and TV advertising in the metropolitan area to increase our number of attendees there. And this year, we also have a popular singer in the Hmong community from California as well that attracts a lot of people whenever he goes to have a concert. So that's a big thing, is that because we have someone who is attending and who is well known in the community, in the Hmong community as far as a singer goes, we feel like with more marketing money, we can definitely advertise on TV with promoting him as well, that we could get more people to attend our event.
Any other questions? Otherwise, yeah, I know this definitely looks like a solid event, and I see a lot of potential here. The financials look good, but I do have that same concern about the limited number of hotel stays in the Wausau area, in the city itself, for that amount of money. I'd like to see Weston made certainly, because they're gonna benefit from it more than we would. But I do feel that some amount would be appropriate for this event, so.
Yeah, I agree with that, and 5,000 would probably be where I'm thinking, yeah. So I'll make a motion to approve this at 5,000.
Okay.
I'll second.
A motion is made and seconded by Henke, seconded by Lewitsky, to grant 5,000 to the Wausau area Hmong New Year. Any other discussion on that? Okay, and maybe if any of the other communities come back, too, we can at a later date revisit this too. If we have funds available.
It's also the first year. I think if we get more data, maybe there are more stays in Wausau, and if you come back with that data, we'll be happy to give you more.
Yeah, I think we just, because again, this is the first year that we're collecting data. That's the thing. But what I know is that the people actually spend the amount of money as far as food wise. That's where they're staying. They're coming to Wausau to eat the food. Rothschild, Weston, they don't have restaurants. And when most of the dancers are here for Friday, that's the day they get here. They don't leave until Sunday. If you're looking at hotel stays, absolutely. In Rothschild, Weston, that's most likely where they're going to stay because it's closer. But if you're looking at like food-wise, when they're going to come in Wausau here and eat the food here, because Westons don't have restaurants that caters more to them. A lot of the Asian restaurants are here in Wausau here. It's not out in Weston or Schofield. It's all here. So I think the number-wise that people are going to spend money. Gas money, it's going to be in Wausau. It's going to be Marathon County. It's going to be Wausau here because, I own a restaurant as well, and during the New Year, typically in the weekends, I'm averaging about 5,000, but with the weekend of the festival, with the weekend of the New Year, just that alone itself, triple my amount of income that I'm getting. So obviously, it's just not Weston that's gaining, or Rothschild that's gaining the community that's coming in. It is the whole city, because a lot of the Hmong people lives in Wausau as well, and that's where they come in. They're spending the money getting food, not just hotel stays, but getting foods as well. And restaurant is a big part of their visits. They don't, where are they going to go for food, right?
Yeah, I don't think we're
Yeah.
debating that, right? I think it's our job is the room tax commission, so it's hotel stays. So we're the
Absolutely.
third tier on this one. I wouldn't expect Wausau Events to go to Rothschild to say, hey, we're gonna put an event in Wausau and put ask them for $20,000. We're the first tier, they would come to us first, and then Rothschild would be their third ask. So same thing. I think you go Rothschild, Weston, Wausau. So we're the third tier, we're gonna do 5, and we'll
Appreciate
continue
it.
on.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think that's, yeah, and once we see, with that, how that's benefiting, room nights in the Wausau area, I think we can, we'd be comfortable in moving forward from that on a larger allocation, so.
Okay.
All right, if there were no other discussion, all those in favor for $5,000, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, and we're looking forward to hearing about the results of the event. Last item is, this is Wausau Area Events, the Beer and Bacon Festival, and this is something that's been another regular happening in the community, so.
Yeah,
I got Alessandra up, so go ahead.
yeah. So we have another year of beer and bacon fest this upcoming year. Last year we were able to use the extra funds that you guys granted to do more OTT advertising, specifically through Channel 9 last year. This year we have a new partnership with Channel 7. And they are matching a lot of the advertising that we do, so it is going farther and hitting more markets than previously done. So we're super excited and thankful for that partnership. But that's kind of where we're looking at that change in the beer and bacon advertising. And then our return for that event specifically with the market is a lot of our millennials and the younger generations who find that stuff through our social media advertising, and that's where we saw a lot of our return for that last year. So that's kind of why I took the ask down. I think last year you guys gave us $7,500, and this year I'm asking for $6,000. And it would be used specifically that amount for the Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, and then the OTT through Channel 7.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the 6.
All right, motion by Lewinsky. Second by Henke. Any questions or discussion? Not hearing anything. All those in favor say aye.
I'm,
Thank you.
Okay. And then before we finish up here, I think you mentioned.
Jody, did you want to come and talk about the, okay.
Okay. And we have.
Hi.
I forget your name again.
Jody McGuire,
Jody.
Director of Operations for the Wausau Central Wisconsin Convention and Visitors Bureau.
All right.
I've been in contact with Mary Ann. We just wanted to share in front of the Tourism Commission that we are working on a bid right now with the Green Heck Turner facility in Weston to bring the World Horseshoe Tournament here for 2026 and 2029. So we have put the bid in and we're waiting to hear back. We should hear back in the next 2 weeks or so. But we just wanted to go in front of all the different commissions and acknowledge or answer any questions that they might have. There might be future asking requests to have all the communities come together and put some money into a pot that would support this to bring it here. We're looking at over probably 1,100 athletes, and it goes for 2 weeks long. They take a weekend first, and they do their practice rounds, and then from there, they go into competition. And this would tail in the month of July, so it'd be right after the 4th of July.
All right. So and that'll be in 2026. So any questions on Horseshoe Tournament? Otherwise, I guess we'll just note that and look forward to, as the time progresses, to hear more about it. Hopefully, you win the bid, and we can do something with that.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, thanks. And that takes us to the end of the meeting. So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
A motion from Pinky,
second.
second from Lewinsky. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned. Thank you so much.